Okay, here we go with homework 5.7, and you're using a graph called the standard normal. Okay, so that looks like a bell-shaped curve, and it is. The standard normal specifically has a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. Okay, so when you see standard normal, these are the situations here. All right, and it says shade the region under the standard normal curve to the left of z equals -1.5. Now z is, this z-score we call it, is the number of standard deviations away from a mean. So that means I'll need to go 1.5 standard deviations to the left because it's negative. So here's -1.5 right here. That would be where I'd place my my line, and I want to shade everything to the left of it. So I want to find this area right here to the left of it. Okay, now there's a calculator on Alex that does that for you that you can learn how to use. I'm going to show you how to do it on your calculator because if you go off to college, you're not going to have Alex with you necessarily, but you probably will have a TI 80 something. So on your TI, let's see, where do we go here? We're going under the distribution menu again, which is just above the vars button. So you're going to hit second and then vars to get to that distribution menu. And then we are going to normal CDF. And when you do that, you're going to get a screen that has lower bound, upper bound, the mean symbol, standard deviation symbol, and then it'll say paste at the bottom. Okay. Now, if you've got a real old calculator, you probably don't see this, and you're going to have to type in each of these in parentheses behind this normal CDF. But most of you are looking at this screen. So when it says lower bound, it's talking about the part you've got shaded. What is the lower bound of this? All right. So if you had to look at your picture and you had to say, okay, this comes down. This graph actually extends all the way out here for infinity before it never touches. So, but I don't have an infinity symbol to type in. But even like -4 or -5 standard deviations away, that's just about everything. But so if I put like a negative for my lower bound, if I just put -9 standard deviations, that's going to be plenty. Make sure you put a negative in front of it though. My upper bound is this -1.5. The mean, we've talked about it earlier, standard normal, the mean's always 0, standard deviation's always 1. I come down here and push that number right there, and I should be getting, let me type these in my calculator real quick, 0.0668. Okay, so understand, remember that is the area of this red region right here. That is the area of this region, okay? It's also the probability that you would have a score on a normal, on a graph like this, that a score would be less than -1.5 standard deviations away. All right, let's look at another one, different type of problem. On it mid-Q. Hang with me. All right, let's go to this one. On this one, first of all, you need to be able to read this right here. It says we've got a standard normal, Z be the standard normal. So remember that it means you have a normal distribution, and the mean, which is right in the middle, is 0. and your standard deviation is 1. So it helps me to draw pictures of these. So this is saying, okay, what's the probability that I get a value that's greater than negative 1.14 standard deviations away? So here's where negative 1.14 standard deviations would be. It's on the left of the mean because it's negative, and the probability that it's greater, that means I want to find all this area right here. Okay? So if I do that with my calculator, I go to my normal CDF. My lower bound is going to be negative 1.14. My upper bound is going to go all the way to infinity. I'm okay with typing just a 9. If you want to type 99, that's fine. You're going to get the same answer. That means I'm talking 9 or 99 standard deviations above the mean, which is really a lot. And then my mean is 0, and my standard deviation is 1. And so I'll type those in, and I'll get my answer. Let me do that real quick for you. Upper bound is negative 1.14. Upper bound, that 0, 1. That is, now you should be expecting a number bigger than 0.5, because think about this. Let me make sure you understand this. From 0 over, that's half, right? That's 0.5. So my value, my graph is going to be more than that because it's more than half. I come out with 0.8729 when I do that. All right, let me see if I can get a picture of this one. Z is less than or equal to 1.15. Here's my graph. Remember, 0 is right in the middle on a standard normal. 1.15 standard deviate, 1.59. You don't have to have this in the exact right place, just, it's going to be on the right side. So I got 1.59, and I'm looking for everything less than that, less than and equal. So I'm looking for all that area right there. Again, I should be expecting a number bigger than 0.5. So if I do normal CDF, lower bound, what are you thinking? Hopefully you're thinking something like negative 9 or negative 99. Upper bound, I'm hoping you're thinking 1.59. And then mean's going to be 0. Standard deviation is going to be 1. Typing that in. There's negative 9, comma, 1.59. And I'm coming out with, 0.9441 is what I'd get for that one. All right, and my last one, I've got a lower bound, 0's in the middle again, standard normal. Negative 0.83 is my lower bound. My upper bound is 2.1. I'm looking for everything in between. All right, so I'm gonna go, there's my lower bound right there, there's my upper bound. So I just gotta type those things in on the normal CDF. Oops. Normal CDF. Sorry, y'all. Clear out of here. So my lower bound is negative 0.83, upper bound is 2.1, and I get 0.7789 for that answer. All right, so that's what I'd be typing in. Again, I find it helpful to draw pictures. So I think it might help some of you as well. But go for it. Let me know if I can help.